Warning, you are about to listen to the greatest radio show ever. And due to contractual obligations and to shield our airwaves and corporate licensees from any semblance of liability, responsibility, and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening. Now live from the Civic Media Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning, welcome to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
And now, here's your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. It's Thursday. Hell, Dom, it's Friday Eve. It's nearly Christmas Eve. Can't believe next week's Christmas.
I know, dude. Happy Thursday to you, Nate, on the board, as well, our fair audience. Thank you for hanging out with us today. It feels like a Friday to me, man. I mean, I don't know. I a lot of stuff going on, but like a lot of people are slowly checking out. You know what I mean? It seemed kind of very Friday-ish to me, but it's great to be with everyone.
Well, Dom, I hate to start with the sad story, but I feel I must. You know, some people, they're down on their luck this holiday season. You know, bad stuff happens to them. Hell, they might find themselves on the brink of financial disaster. And that's a sad story. Unless it's Rudy Giuliani.
Come on. Of his
Rudy
own
Giuliani,
making?
Yeah, I think he brought this on himself, Don.
Yeah.
America's mayor is now broke-ass Rudy. And today, Dom, I would like you and I and the entire audience to have fun at Rudy's broke-ass expense. I would like to play Rudy So Joke. Damn it.
Oh, man. All
Can't
that
even
fun.
deliver a punchline.
I mean,
Rudy
did you
So
write-
Broke Joke. I got a Rudy joke. I got at least one. I got several.
So you want to do with Rudy's so broke, ... Jokes.
Joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
gotcha.
Rudy
Gotcha.
So Broke jokes.
Man, I
And
thought
I
you wrote
want
that down.
you,
All of
Dom,
you.
and more importantly, you, the audience. I want you to play along. I want you to have some fun with us before the holidays. And, you know, I wouldn't normally make fun of a man so down on his luck, so desperate as Rudy. But it's freaking Rudy Giuliani. I'm going to kick him. I'm going to kick him. I'm going to curb stomp him while he's down.
He deserves it. He brought this on himself. He made the lives of those election workers in Georgia hell.
You want to
And
hear
he
my
lied
question?
about them. So he deserves everything he gets. You know, the judge said pay up now. And Rudy's like, I'm going to go bankrupt.
The judge yesterday said pay up. Pay the $148 million. Don't even get the 30 days grace period because you've effectively been a person who would show an inclination to shield and hide one's assets.
Yeah, right.
So in response to that ruling, Rudy promptly ran straight down to the federal bankruptcy courts. And he declared Chapter 11, my understanding, Dom. And I'll get to my Rudy So Broke joke in just a minute. But here's my question. How did this man get $500 million in the hole? Who's extending credit to Rudy to this degree? I mean, Nate and I were doing some math before we got on the air. And he's like, well, you know, he's got some lawyers. He owes money. I said, let's max it out. Let's say it's $10 million to the lawyers. And it's $148 million to these election officials he defamed in Georgia.
Right.
I mean, there's still like $350 million in debt unaccounted for.
Well, I
in
think
this
it's
grandiose $500 million liability statement and $10 million in assets now. So I would say he's a little upside down.
underwater, perhaps. Is that the term?
I know that we've joked through the years, Tom, Deutsche Bank and Russian oligarchs, the only thing funding the Trump enterprise.
Right.
But who's funding Rudy's life up till now? Who's funded him? And I may have an answer. Before we get to the more important news of the day, and here's my Rudy joke.
Yeah.
And you can play along at home or on the radio or the text line, 844-967-2789. Rudy's so broke, he can't afford layaway at the dollar store this Christmas.
Oh, come on, man.
It was my first crack at a Rudy so
You know,
broke
you
joke.
the delivery's a little trying, man. Let me help you out. You know, you're a little smoother with that delivery. Like, Rudy's so broke when he goes to the park and sits at the pond, ducks throw bread at him. See, it's all in the delivery, Crute. You gotta work on that. You gotta be a little smooth.
Rudy's so broke, he was in a Kmart with a box of hefty bags. I said, "What you doing, Rudy?" He said, "Buying luggage."
Terrible.
Let me ask you this, Dom. How do we know that Donald Trump is not an insurrectionist?
We know. I mean, we talked about this yesterday, Crute. I've determined it is
joke.
self-evident. All right.
Normal.
What's the joke? How do we know, Crute?
Man.
How do we know?
I feel
How
like
do
I'm
we
being
know?
heckled here on stand-up night. Thank you for trying to legitimately answer what was clearly a rhetorical question, awaiting a punchline. How do we know that Trump is not an insurrectionist? He strongly denies it. He says, "I'm not an insurrectionist." Do you see that's his statement today? I am not an insurrectionist. I'm not clear if Dom's going to participate in the show or not. Let me tell you what I read, Dom. Trump, I'm not an insurrectionist. Now, we don't have the sound of this. We'd play the sound if we had it. But former President Trump today denied that he is an insurrectionist after President Biden said it was self-evident. That was said yesterday on the tarmac. General Mitchell in Milwaukee. President Biden said it was self-evident Trump was one for his role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. I'm not an insurrectionist, Trump wrote on the Truthy social, specifically pointing to his comments on January 6, in which he encouraged supporters to march to the Capitol peacefully and patriotically. You know, he's used that line quite a bit. Now, Trump also claimed Biden is an insurrectionist and a threat to democracy. Again, that projection thing he likes to do. It's not me, it's him. Joe's an insurrectionist. Continuing a pattern in which the former president accuses his opponents and critics of the same thing he's accused of doing. Is that it? I am rubber and you're glue, and whatever I'm accused of bounces off of me and sticks onto you. In a Tuesday ruling, the Colorado Supreme Court, in a 4-3 decision, affirmed Trump engaged in insurrection by inflaming his supporters with false claims of election fraud and directing them to the Capitol, preventing him from a second White House term under the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause. Now, we all know Trump supporters violently stormed the Capitol, although apparently they were directed by John Nichols from The Nation, our buddy. That was part of Trump's recent court filings. But anyways, back to the Hills reporting. Trump supporters violently stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021 to try and stop the certification of Biden's victory in the 2020 election. And Trump's campaign has said it will appeal the Colorado ruling swiftly. Of course they will. Biden on Wednesday declined to weigh in on the court's decision on whether Trump should be removed from the ballot, but he said it was self-evident Trump supported an insurrection. Whether the 14th Amendment applies or not, we'll let the court make that decision, Biden said. We played this on for you yesterday. If you didn't hear it, where were you? More from Biden, but he certainly supported an insurrection. There's no question about it, non-zero, and he seems to be doubling down on it. I'm not an insurrectionist. This is the newest from Trump. That's how we know he indeed is an insurrectionist.
Well, I'm not a crook.
Yes. Down quick to point out. Very, very Nixonian. I am not a crook. I am not an insurrectionist. And Nixon resigned in disgrace. And, you know, you would have been better off to do so, sir. But history will judge you. And I constantly judge you. And anyways, going to have a little fun on this Thursday edition. And we need your help. 844-967-2789. I find it nearly hilarious that Rudy Giuliani has filed bankruptcy. He's broke-ass Rudy. And, we'll talk about that some, but it's unusual to know. Back to Trump just for a minute. Speaker of the Assembly, Robin Vos here, nearly was done in by Donald Trump last elective season. The Assembly, they're on the ballot every 2 years. And if you'll recall, Trump came to Wisconsin specifically to, support Tim Michels, that carpetbagger, what a fine candidate he made, and to support Adam Steen, who was, the primary opponent of Robin Vos. Now, I likewise endorsed Adam Steen. I did it for the mischief. Trump and I share that quality, like the chaos. But Robin Vos nearly lost his election in the primary against some young yokel, Adam Steen. Well, here is what's very interesting. Jesse Apoyan from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel had this to say, and we'll take your calls. The Rudy So Broke jokes, want to hear yours, and I see people starting to line up, so we'll go there next. But Vos won't vote for Trump in the primary, but it's too early to tell for the general election? That's yes, Robin. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos really doesn't want to vote for Donald Trump, he claims. But if the former president is the Republican nominee, he won't rule it out. I can tell you that when the election comes around in the fall, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden, Vos told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. So it probably means whoever the Republican nominee is, just like I've done every year that I've ever been alive, that I can vote, I'm sure I'll vote for that Republican nominee. I just hope that it's not Donald Trump. And the question asked here by the fine journalist, I believe Jesse Apoyan, does that mean he'll vote for Trump if he's on the ballot next year? Too early to tell, says Vos. Is it too early to tell, really, whether or not you would support Donald Trump, the guy that went directly against you in your primary? Is it too early to tell? I think I would make that decision early. I think I could make that one for you, Robin. Now, Trump currently holds a dominant lead in the Republican presidential primary polls. More likely than not, he's going to be the nominee for the Republican Party. I think they deserve each other. Trump and this party, Robin Vos. You'll be voting for him in the fall, won't you, Robin? Now, Rudy, back to Rudy. Broke-ass Rudy. We're going to let you participate. We don't kick a man when he's down unless it's Rudy. 844-967-2789. You're broke. Ass Rudy So Broke jokes. They could be next. Come back, Devil's Advocates. It's a Funny is Funny Thursday edition.
Right for you. I'm Alan Robinson, co-founder of Herbal Aspect. Cannabis is my business, my vocation, and my passion. Schedule an in-person or virtual cannabis consultation with me. A $50 value at no cost, just for Devil Radio listeners. Receive personalized advice, benefit from my undivided attention, and I'll guide you through helping you make an informed choice among Herbal Aspect's extensive selection. And get 10% off your first purchase when you use the code DevilRadio at herbalaspect.com.
Have you ever celebrated Festivus? It only started in 1997, but the quirky holiday quickly became a way some families enjoy the season without the commercialism. Even though the TV show Seinfeld helped make it popular, all you need to celebrate? A Festivus pool to decorate, time for airing of grievances, and the party ends with a Festivus feast. Everyone brings...
Dom, can you hear me there?
Check.
Jerry Barr, and from all
Awesome,
of us at
awesome.
the Civic
Cool.
Media
Dom is
Radio
back.
Network, happy holidays.
The big and tall of political talk, the Devil's Advocates.
And we are back from the 420 break. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. You can always join us in the frivolity of what is the greatest radio show ever at 844-967-2789.
Well, as the song says, more money, more problems. How about no money, more problems?
That's worse.
844-967-2789. We got some that want to play along with the Rudy So Broke joke edition of the Devil's Advocates, looking for your funny one-liners or, general contributions to the show. Starting with our old pal, been too long, Aldous from Madison. Welcome back, Aldous.
Hey, Aldous.
Well, hello. Hey, so yeah, obviously you never kick a man when he's down, but is Rudy really a man at this point? Anyway, let's go into this though. Rudy, so broke that his picture is next to every self-checkout register in America already.
Rudy's so broke, he's the face on the food stamp.
Your genuine Rudy card, right?
Aldous, thanks for your contribution. We got a few more lining up. We want to get to as many as we can. 844-967-2789. Oh my!
What?
The
I don't
original
believe it.
Claire!
Claire, what's going
Prove it
on?
to your original Claire.
Hi, devils!
Oh, it's
Hey,
Claire.
Claire.
Hey, Claire, how you been, sister?
I've been good.
You know, the only way to really prove it is to sing a little bit of a doe, a deer, a female deer.
No.
I don't get it.
Claire, do you have a one-liner for us, a Rudy so broke joke today?
Yes, I do. I actually have two options.
Oh.
The first, Rudy's so broke, he can't afford hair dye anymore.
Oh, damn. And he uses a lot of that. It's going to be rough for him.
Yeah. And the other one is, Rudy's so broke, he can't even have a presser at Four Seasons Lawn Care anymore.
He's going, what, to the 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just fall and winter for Rudy from now on. Claire, any other political thoughts?
If Trump gets immunity from SCOTUS, I will move to Canada.
I will beat you there, Claire. Claire, happy holidays. So good to hear from you.
Yeah,
it's
for
always
sure.
great when
For
old
sure.
friends join us around the Christmas time or whatever you celebrate. 844.
Festivus. It's almost Festivus. It
Oh.
will be Festivus on Saturday. I celebrate Festivus. I have a little Festivus pole on my kitchen, on my dining room table at home. I celebrate the Festivus.
Tomorrow will be Festivus observed on the Devil's Advocates radio show. We'll do the Friday grievances. We'll air them here. But today, Dom, today is the Rudy So Broke joke edition of the Devil's Advocates radio show. Going to have fun with this while people continue to have steam and funny one-liners.
Like, I think the combination of you and Claire, Rudy Giuliani's so broke, can he only afford to do pressers at the 2 seasons?
But yeah, yesterday Aaron did the rim shot for us. Nate, come
Yeah,
on, man.
Nate, you got to catch
He's
up,
working
man.
the phones. He's working
Okay,
the phones. He's
okay,
getting the
okay.
one-liners lined up. Let's go back to the phones. 844-967-2789. It's okay if you're a new one. We'd like to hear from you. Tony the trucker out there on the roads. How you doing, Tony? What
Hey,
you got
Tony.
for us?
We're doing good. Doing good. Both are busy, but I will not be seeing on the radio today either.
Only
Thank
the
you for that.
original Claire can set a tone suitable for the radio.
Wasn't that Betsy? I thought it was
Uh,
Betsy you saying.
Oh, maybe it was Betsy. Maybe that's why Claire didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Tony?
Well, I got to digress. You said something earlier about Donald Trump. He claims he's not an insurrectionist.
That's what he says
Comedy-
today on the Truthy
Right.
Social.
Comedy Thursday, I got to throw this out there. Stormy Daniels claims he's not an erectionist either.
I like
Well,
where
I
you
got-
went there, Tony. You know,
What's that?
flirting right with the FCC, but I like where you went there.
Well, I keep it clean. I try anyway. So
Keep it
you
classy,
guys
Tony.
every day, you're the highlight. You're the highlight of my day.
Oh,
Keep up
thanks,
the good
man.
work, gentlemen.
Right
All
on.
right,
Appreciate
Tony
you
the
listening,
trucker.
Tony. Awesome.
Wonder what he's hauling around. Hopefully someone's Christmas gift getting delivered by Tony right now. Let's turn our attention. Beth from Valparaiso, Indiana. Beth, welcome to the Devil's Advocates. Do you have a joke for us? A
Hey,
Rudy
Beth.
so broke joke, perhaps.
I do. Good to talk to you guys again. Rudy's so broke that he's going to have to go to work for Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss, and he's going to make back money to pay them. Wait, he's going to make back money to pay them, by starting a TV series called, or making a movie called Driving Miss Ruby.
Oh.
And he will chauffeur Ruby
Yes.
around.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think the poor Ruby, do you think she would want a drunk chauffeur, though? Because I'm not clear that Rudy would be the guy I would want as my wheelman.
There'd be a lot of great quality time with Rudy in the car. I'm not so sure. I hadn't thought about that. I don't want to make her suffer more. That would be more pain and suffering.
That would be tough. That would be tough. I mean, he should be able to work off the debt, Beth, but I don't know if he'll be the driver.
I'm not even sure he's insurable at this point. I mean, they do a credit check, right? What's Rudy's score? -7?
Hey, Merry Christmas, you guys. I love you.
Thank you, Beth. Merry Christmas
Thanks
to
for
you.
listening. Please join us for Festivus Observed on Friday, 844-967-2789. Stephen from Green Bay. Welcome, Stephen. What do you got for us?
Hey, Stephen.
Rudy's so broke that he was caught at Walmart buying trash bags, and when asked what he was buying, he said he was buying his luggage.
Yeah. Come on, you gotta listen the whole time, Crute. You already laid that one on us.
It sounded like Steven said,
Oh.
Crudy's so broke.
Yeah.
And I do, in fact,
No,
use the
I would
2-ply
never do
for my
that.
travel luggage. You did miss that
Merry
one,
Christmas,
Steven.
you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
All right,
brother.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
You miss even one Rudy so broke joke and repeat
Right,
it.
right.
And you might get chastised on the greatest radio show ever. So you got to listen every moment of every day. 844-967-2789. If you would like to play along, and I haven't even checked the text line. That's always a great place for your funny one-liners, so I'll get there next. But we are taking your phone calls. You know, it's a little sad that Rudy finds himself down in the dumps this year. Rudy Giuliani, that is. And he filed for federal bankruptcy protection today. But my understanding, that will not shield the $148 million judgment against him. But Dom, he does have gainful, air quotes, gainful employment in a couple of different ways.
Cameo.
Well, we know about the cameo. And then also on the America's Mayors podcast he does each day, he's got a sponsor. You might question, who would sponsor Rudy?
The My Pillow guy?
It's going to remain a mystery unless you come back. You got to listen to every moment, every day.
Otherwise,
But
you
I
might
will
miss
tell
the
you
jokes.
who's Rudy's sponsor. And we're going to hear from you fine people with the funnies, the one-liners, the Rudy so broke jokes. But don't be repetitive or we might chastise you. 844-96-PARTY.
Hi, it's Rudy Giuliani, and I'm on Cameo.
Except maybe Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is rejecting a complaint against fake presidential electors for a second time. Yesterday's vote was 5-0, with Commissioner Bob Spindell not voting. He's one of 10 Republicans who settled a lawsuit last week for their role in perpetrating the fraud. Holiday travelers with heart conditions should make a list and check it twice, says cardiologist Dr. Kim Perry.
Make sure your medications are clearly labeled, including dosages and pharmacy information, and you have enough for your entire trip. Take more just in case.
Dr. Perry recommends people who've had a heart attack or stroke within the last 6 months to clear any travel with both their primary and cardiac doctors. AAA predicts a record 7.5 million Americans will fly over the next 2 weeks. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WMDX News, I'm Nate Wuggyhout. Two of Madison's biggest homeless projects could close early next year due to not having enough money. The Rethke Terrace and Tree Lane apartments are owned by the nonprofit Heartland Housing of Chicago. They've asked a Dane County judge to find help relocating the people living in the apartments and list the properties for sale. City officials say that it'll be hard to relocate the around 100 people living in those two buildings in such a short time. A nonprofit looking to end food insecurity in the Madison area has been given $100,000 from the nonprofit organization 100 Men of Dane County. The Hands for Harvest organization says that their goal is to grow and supply fresh food for local food pantries. But they say their biggest roadblock at the moment is simply not having enough land. Hands for Harvest leaders say that the donation will be able to help them grow well into the future. And that's what you need to know. I'm Nate Wuggehout, WMDX News.
As first-time homebuyers, we didn't even know where to start when it came to finding a home. What to look for during showings, how to stand out as buyers in a seller's market. It was a lot.
It is a lot, but it's what we do every day at Solid Energy Realty.
Jesse, we can't thank you enough for your guidance throughout the whole process. The countless showings, finding a home that was a good fit for us, and having the expertise to make our offer as competitive as possible.
If you're a first-time homebuyer, don't call the sign. Contact Solid Energy Realty today. Let us represent your best interests, and it shouldn't cost you a dime.
Bucks host the Magic. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Milwaukee Bucks host the Orlando Magic tonight at Fiserv Forum. Although the Bucks have won 5 games in a row, Bobby Portis was asked what could the team work on to improve tonight.
I think starting with defense, obviously trying to just build it. Obviously it's a new system for us. We're trying to do a lot of new things and have different, reads and different, coverages. For the long haul.
NFL, the Green Bay Packers are playing the Carolina Panthers at noon Sunday, Christmas Eve. With just 3 games left in the season, could they still make the playoffs? I asked Jordan Love.
Yeah, we got to win. We got 3 opportunities to go out there and get a win. The goal right now is to get to 9-8, and then obviously let the playoffs kind of play themselves out and see if we can get a shot in there. But obviously bouncing back after 2 tough losses, we just got to find a way to go win these last 3.
That's Packers quarterback Jordan Love. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Weather brought to you by the Wine and Hop Shop, Madison's local source for home brewing and winemaking supplies at affordable prices.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Staying rather warm the next couple of days. Cloudy, little fog and drizzle tonight, lows in the mid-30s. Some early drizzle tomorrow, staying cloudy, high mid-40s. Some bits of sunshine on Saturday, highs all the way up to 50. Some rain and low 50s for Sunday. Rain chances continue for Christmas. It's 39
Love
right
wine
now.
or beer? Make your own. The Wine and Hop Shop has home brewing and winemaking starter kits for all budgets. With our free expert advice, making your own is fun, easy, and delicious. Visit the Wine and Hop Shop at 1919 Monroe Street in Madison and at wineandhop.com today. Give the gift of a hobby with a home brewing or winemaking starter kit from the Wine and Hop Shop. The shop starter kits and free expert advice make brewing beer and making wine a snap. Be a holiday hero and visit the Wine and Hop Shop at 1919 Monroe Street in Madison or wineandhop.com today.
Your home for the Devil's Advocates with Dom and Crute. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6.
I like your stories,
The Devil's Advocates. Sausage making never looked so good.
I need a dollar, that's what I need.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates radio show. And it doesn't seem quite Christian-like to kick man while he's down at this holiday season, but it is Rudy Giuliani, so we are doing it. 844-967-2789.
I have no
Rudy's
problem with this. This is so deserved and appropriate. Yes. Give me your Rudy so broke joke. 844-967-2789.
I got one. Rudy so broke this Christmas, he got a box, put 2 sticks in it, spun it, and told his son, "There's your Xbox."
Terrible.
844-967-2789. You think I'm terrible? You should see some of these submissions. Old Faithful, Rudy so broke, he can't afford to pay attention.
Yes,
a couple of people haven't been paying attention. Rudy so broke, he's picking up roadkill for Christmas dinner. What else we got here? Rudy so okay, can't pay attention. Rudy's so broke he can't even marry his cousin. According to Ed from Madison, Rudy apparently did marry a cousin. And given Rudy's penchant for dressing in drag, he's so broke he had to dress up as Stormy Daniels and work Trump for some money.
Yeah.
Was he getting paid to not have sex with him?
That's what they do now.
844-967-2789. If you would like to share your Rudy so broke joke, now would be the time. Kick him while he's down. And I'll tell you what he's selling on the America's Mayor podcast in just a moment. But let's get to a few more of yours. Dick from Madison. Welcome back, Dick. What do you got for us?
Hey, Dick.
You're going to have to help me with the joke. What was the police commissioner's name in New York City that
Bertie
he was
Carrick?
buddies with? Yeah, there you go. He's so broke he can't pay his dues at the Love Palace that they had together.
Him and Bertie Carrick had to get back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they had that. Seriously, I read many years ago that Giuliani was part of that whole cabal, too, and he was there a lot. So he can't pay his dues there.
Giuliani's so broke. What do you think he's drinking this Christmas, Dick?
Oh, my God. Let's see.
Kool-Aid.
He'd probably drink the stuff he puts on his hair.
Rudy's so broke he's got to drink his hair dye.
But seriously, this is so pathetic at every level. I mean, he's not broke and he's never going to worry about where his next meal is coming from. I predicted this to Sue, my wife. I said, he's going to declare bankruptcy just like, what's his name? The horrible person.
Alex Jones.
The radio. Yeah. Yep.
Come on, man. We can't fill in all your blanks. And here's what I will say, Dick. Of course, Rudy's going to get fed. They give you 3 hots and a cot in prison for the rest of your life. 844-967-2789. Rudy so broke jokes at a premium here. Pistol Pete from Sun Prairie. Welcome, Pistol. What do you got?
Hey, Pete, what's happening?
Hey, Rudy is so broke he can't afford shoe polish to dye his hair.
I agree, Pistol Pete. Any other thoughts, my friend?
Work.
All right, man. Thanks for listening. 844-967-2789. Is that what you use? Shoe polish? You and Earl?
Jokes are hard, man.
Jokes are hard. Some are finding it more difficult than others. Larry from Madison. You got a funny one? Welcome,
hey, Larry.
Larry, what do you got for us?
Yeah, pretty much. Rudy is so broke. Well, I guess really that's just a comment and not really a joke, isn't it? But he's so broke. Hopefully he stays broke financially, spiritually, and for his future. It just. But I agree with that, though. Rudy is just so broke.
Well, Larry, that's not so much a joke as you just rooting against the guy at this point.
Well, it makes me laugh.
Less a joke, more an observation, Larry. We appreciate it.
844-967-2789. We're doing Rudy so broke jokes. Rudy so broke, my jack-o'-lanter's got better dental work than he does.
Oh, damn. 844-967-2789. Dale from Kenosha, you're up. Welcome, Dale. What's your Rudy so broke joke?
Hey, Dale.
Yes, Rudy. Hi. Rudy's so broke he asked Rudolph to light his house with his nose.
Rudy's got his own shiny red nose.
Yes,
he doesn't need Rudolph, Dale.
Rudy's so broke he's going to lead Santa's sleigh with that nose.
Dale, Merry
That's
Christmas.
A pretty good one.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, appreciate it, Dale.
844-967-2789. Our pal Judy, now from Racine. Welcome, Judy. What do you got for us?
Hey, Judy.
Oh, it's so good to hear from you.
Likewise.
You, Crute, and the Love Muffin. So anyway,
We know which
Rudy
one
is-
you favor, Judy, but go ahead.
I can't help it.
She can't help it. I keep telling him, Judy. He just doesn't accept it.
Judy, you got a Rudy so broke joke? Since obviously you got no love for yours truly.
Yeah.
Well, happy holidays to you and happy Festivus and whatever for Love Monthhood.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay. And Rudy is so broke, he's way underwater without a tank.
Yes, he is. He's way underwater. Thank you, Judy. Good to hear from you.
Rudy's so broke he's drinking Mad Dog 1010s. 844-967-2789. The other Claire from Sun Prairie. Been a while since we heard from both Claires.
Wow.
Welcome, Claire. What do you got for us?
Hey, Claire.
Oh, Rudy's so broke he can't drop a dime on Trump.
I love it.
Rudy's so broke, I saw him walking around with the penny. I said, "What are you doing, Rudy?" He said, "I'm going to the bank with my life savings."
Yeah, he's stretching a penny and making wire out of it.
Well done, Claire. My favorite so far. Let's just say, what was it? Rudy's so broke he can't afford to drop a dime on Donald Trump. Well done, sir.
844-967-2789. Sam from Waukesha. Welcome, Sam. What do you got for us?
Hey, Sam.
Hi. Rudy's so broke, he'll be moving in with Borat soon.
Lovely wife. Many good times.
Just, I don't know, man. You know, I keep thinking about that scene in the movie when he puts his hand down his pants when he's in the hotel room with the young lady.
With what he thought was a teenage girl.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know,
Give
they claim
the
he,
dog food. Yeah.
they claim he walks around popping Viagra. I got to think those things add up. You know, they'll be.
Those are expensive.
Are they? How much, Sam?
Well, I don't know for sure.
They're cheap. You can get them online. Don't worry about it, Sam. It's the internet.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Sam.
Come on, man. Rudy's so broke, he's going to be selling you his Viagra.
Apparently, you already bought him. Rudy's so broke. The theme of the hour. Apparently, Rudy Giuliani, formerly America's mayor, and I mean, he was kind of a big deal once upon a time, right, Dom? And today he declared bankruptcy, $500 million in debt, and I would wonder who's extending the credit. But I've got a little coverage. Then we'll get back to the Rudy so broke jokes. As a federal judge ordered Rudy Giuliani to immediately cough up $148 million he owes to two Georgia election workers he defamed, the former New York City mayor hawked unapproved supplements that he said could be used both as Christmas ornaments and to help me fight the traitors. They're multi-purpose vitamins, Dom.
They're multivitamins in a different way. I'm not clear here. So they're vitamins that you would hang on a tree?
If you're Rudy, Judge Beryl Howell, in a 13-page ruling Wednesday, sided with election workers Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, who had asked the court to nix a requirement for them to wait 30 days before seeking enforcement of their financial judgment against Rudy in light of his track record as an uncooperative litigant. Now, the judge granted their request, knowing that Giuliani might conceal his assets if he were given more time based on an ample record, in this case, of Giuliani's efforts to conceal or hide his assets. Why would you arrive at that conclusion? Because he's already made an effort prior to conceal his assets, according to the judge. And with his legal and financial woes mounting, the former federal prosecutor took to his live stream program, America's Mayor Live, Dom, late Wednesday, to defend his former boss, the same one who reportedly rebuffed his pleas for help paying his bills after his crusade to overturn the 2020 elections blew up in their faces, sort of collectively. We're in fascist territory here. Giuliani declared, citing his own legal setbacks in a bombshell ruling by the Colorado Supreme Court, blocking Trump from the state's primary ballot for his role in the January 6th insurrection. The 4 judges that wrote that opinion, wait for it, Dom, they raped the Constitution, said Rudy. Raped the Constitution. Giuliani said, describing it as an illegal, violent ripping up. Trump's campaign has already vowed to appeal the ruling to the U.S. Supreme Court. And Giuliani went to double down on the popular MAGA talking points, railing against Joe Biden for what he described as giving away the country to undocumented immigrants and claiming there would be no war in Ukraine if Trump were still in charge. No, he'd have given the Ukrainians over to the Russians long before now. And Rudy's rants were punctuated by awkward promotions for balance of nature supplements, which have been the subject of several warnings from the Food and Drug Administration over the company's claims that its products could be used to diagnose, cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent diseases such as cancer, heart disease, cirrhosis, diabetes, asthma, and COVID-19. And Giuliani, apparently getting into the holiday spirit despite the staggering financial judgment against him, urged followers not only to take the supplements every day, but to use the empty bottles to decorate their Christmas trees. Rudy's so broke, he's decorating his Christmas tree with empty bottles, Dom. Last night I showed you how to put one together, he said on the Wednesday show, holding up a Balance of Nature bottle with a wire hook inserted into the top. This one's going on the tree now. I'm going to have 2 on my tree. Not only are they wonderful as a stocking stuffer, he said, but all purchases of the supplement help me fight the traitors.
He's
Rudy's
crafty.
So broke, he's selling Balance of Life supplements the FDA has warned people not to take. And they're handy because you can also hang the empty bottles as your Christmas ornament.
Only if you're crafty like Rudy. Crute, I did pull up the bankruptcy filing, and I want to be clear here. How many creditors do you have? There's a box to check, and they give you a range. He checks the box for the number of creditors between 1 and 49. Question 19, how much do you estimate your assets to be worth? Again, checking a box between $1 million and $10 million. Big range there.
On the
and
high
how much?
end, it's $10 million.
And yes, on the high end. And how much do you estimate your liabilities to be? Liabilities are between $100 million and $500 million. Big range.
So we don't know.
We do not know.
What I had
Correct.
seen reported is he had liabilities of $500 million and assets no greater than $10 million. And that begs the question: who's giving Rudy credit? Rudy's so broke. You know, I got a few more in mind, but I want to leave a little meat on the bone for you. We got lots of people that want to play along. We're going to have some fun Thursday. As funny is funny. And if you can kick Rudy Giuliani while he's down,
yes,
I recommend you do so.
We encourage it.
The greatest radio show ever. You know, it's the Christian thing to do. More Devil's Advocates.
Come on, share your dollar with me.
Radio 92.7 WMDX.
Partner now with the greatest radio show ever and start getting return on your investment immediately. The Devil's Advocates are a small business just like you, and like you, we can't afford advertising that offers no return. The Devil's Advocates listeners support our sponsors and the mission. Tell you when your messages are working and put cash in your register. So invest your ad dollars to reach our raving Madison and Dane County fans, or affordably reach the whole state, Chicago, Minneapolis, and our nationwide stream audience today. The Devil's Advocates can be the voice of your business, hold special events at your location, interview your staff or satisfied customers to lift your business. Contact us today, Crute at darnwy.com. That's Crute at darnwy.com.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? And if you drive while you're high, law enforcement can definitely tell. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for.
– 60% of the time, they're right every time. The Devil's Advocates.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Make sure you download the super cool Civic Media app. It's free. It's on your favorite app stores, and you can take the Devils with you everywhere you go. And you can just hit the button. It automatically calls or texts at 844-967-2789.
And there are a lot of great texts on the text line right now. I'll share a few while there's time, and then we'll go straight back to the lines. Be patient, please. Rudy's so broke that CJ feels sorry for him and invited him over for Christmas. Rudy's so broke he can only afford to be 2 sheets to the wind when he goes on TV. That was a pretty good one. What else we got here? Rudy's so broke his finances are finally catching up to his morals. Yes, that's not so much a joke as an observation.
Right.
Here's a good one. Dom, you'll like this one, I think. Coming in from the WMDX, the 608. Rudy's so broke that he could fart in his pocket and still not have a cent. Another couple more from the text line here. They're pretty good. Rudy's so broke he can't afford a My Pillow. Damn, that's broke. Rudy's so broke he can't score bootleg Viagra. It says here, Rudy is now the number 3 whore in all of Trumplandia. Rudy's so broke he got hired by the Four Seasons to mow lawns. Hopefully he won't blow it by showing up at the hotel. And let's see. Well, there's a few more, but some of these probably should be pre-screened. Rudy's so broke joke day. We're going to do this at least for like 8 more minutes. 844-967-2789. So get your best punchlines while there's still time. Damn it. Can't make it work. Here I go. I'm back to making it work. Rico from Rock County. Nate lied to you, man. We didn't get you in the last segment.
Hey, Rico.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Oh, man.
Good.
Yeah,
Having fun with this topic.
Hey.
You ever been as broke as
Yeah.
Rudy? $500 million in the hole? I mean.
Oh, no. I highly doubt that.
Best Rudy could hope for is to die in his sleep.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking, things are so expensive over there in New York. Maybe him and Santos, they could hook up in a room together, split the rent and everything.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. But Rudy, see, he's so broke, he's gone down to Fleshman's vodka and Blatt's beer. And Rudy, I want to help you out. If you buy the Blatts in returnable bottles, you get a little bit better of a deal.
You get a little
somebody
bit
to haul
back.
down there for you.
Hell, we used to make
Don't hurt
furniture out of
yourself.
old Milwaukee returnables in college.
Yeah. Hey, guys, have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks, you too, Rico.
you.
Appreciate it, man.
844-967-2789. Having a little fun. The topic, Rudy so broke jokes. If you got a good one, share it now. Steve from Lodi, welcome. What do you got for us?
Hi, Steve.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah.
Good, Steve.
Rudy is so broke that he makes the Grand Canyon look like a hairline fracture.
I like that one, Steve.
Thank you.
Dom's giggling on the inside. Karate Man giggles on the inside. Steve, thanks for listening. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays.
Happy Festivus.
Whatever you celebrate. Tomorrow we will observe Festivus right here on the big show. 844-967-2789. Rudy So Broke Thursday edition. Chuck, you're next. Welcome, sir. What do you got for us?
Rudy's so broke, the bank foreclosed on his penny loafers.
I like that one, Chuck.
Well, thank you, and happy holidays, just to piss off the conservatives.
It's a war on Christmas.
Happy holidays to you, Chuck. Thanks, man.
844-967-2789. Having a little more fun with Rudy So Broke jokes. Cindy from Appleton, you got one for us?
Hey, Cindy.
I do. Rudy's so broke he now knows what it feels like to not have a pot to pee in.
Literally.
Or a Russian hooker to do it for him.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll put that one aside right now. 844-967-2789. Our boy Mark from the Sack. Welcome, Mark. What do you got?
Rudy's so broke that Schadenfreude feels sorry for him.
God bless us all.
Be well, Mark. Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Mark.
Happy holidays to you. 844-967-2789. Still could be time for your hot takes on Rudy So Broke jokes. Dom, you look like you got one. Who's your Bob? Who's your daddy? You got a joke for us?
Hey, Hoosier.
Hello, who's your Bob?
Bob, what's happening? No Bob? We lost Bob. Come on, Bob. We got
Rudy's
time
so
for that.
broke. His TV's got 2 channels, on and off.
Oh, we'll try this again. Try it again. We got Jim from Appleton. I guess we'll see if we can grab Hoosier Bob. See if Bob's still there, will you please, Nate? Jim from Appleton,
Busy.
you're next. What do you got for us, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
Rudy is so broke he can't afford airfare to Russia anymore. He's
Ah.
going to have to hitch a ride on a trawler.
Jim, does it make you feel bad at all as a human being that Rudy is having such difficulties at this time of year?
Not Rudy, no, sorry.
No.
Me
Feel
neither.
better if it were Trump.
His day's coming, Jim. Be patient.
844-967-2789. Who's your Bob? You there this time, fella?
Hey, Bob.
Hey, boy. Hey, boys. How are you? Merry
Good.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Merry
man.
Christmas.
I'm not as broke as Rudy.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with a joke, and I'm usually pretty good at it, but I can't find a joke in this. Rudy is nothing more than a symptom of what's wrong with that Republican Party. He's not a joke. He's a symptom. He's a disease. He's an illness.
Well, who's your Bob? That doesn't seem like a lot of fun.
No, but I don't disagree. And if Rudy Giuliani is a symptom of the disease, then the devil's advocates are the cure.
Dominic, Rudy's so broke. When he goes to KFC, he's got to lick other people's fingers.
Ah, gross, man. Nasty.
Well, we'll see if we're moving on topically. I suspect we are. We'll find more important debate topics and perhaps
Yes.
fun stuff. You know, we're gonna catch up with those Duke boys. You see what Bo had to say?
Yeah.
He's gonna have trouble with more than the revenuers. I got the feeling. Y'all come back now. You hear more Devil's Advocates.
Shocked, I tell you.
A happier happy hour begins right now.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app. Mad Radio 92.7 programming is produced live in the Solidarity Realty Studios. Solidarity Realty, there is an alternative.
Tons of glass artists share the same passion for eye-catching art as Ignite Glass and Gifts, so we're showcasing their work alongside our talented local artists and our in-house Ignite artists. The latest techniques, the hottest colors, and mind-blowing designs are here for you to enjoy. Madison's favorite for glass, gifts, and vape, Ignite Glass and Gifts. Monona Drive, Williamson Street, and O'Dana Road, plus IgniteGlassandGifts.com. Do your eyes a favor and see this stuff.
You're listening to Mad Radio, WMDX 1580 AM Columbus, W224EG Madison, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. More than 14 people killed after a mass shooting in Prague in the Czech Republic. It happened at Charles University, and police say the now-dead gunman was a student. ABC's Lama Hassan with more from the foreign desk.
An email was reportedly sent to staff warning them of the shooting, telling them to stay put, telling them not to go anywhere, saying if you are in your offices, lock them and place furniture in front of the door, turn off the lights, it said. So essentially barricading themselves in the classrooms.
The UN now warns more than 500,000 people in Gaza are facing starvation as the Hamas-run health ministry reports the death toll there from the war has surpassed 20,000. Texas Governor Greg Abbott setting a private plane carrying 120 migrants to Chicago unannounced, leaving them at O'Hare Airport. Rudy Giuliani filing for bankruptcy 1 week after being ordered to pay nearly $150 million for defaming two former Georgia election workers, accusing them of changing votes. This is ABC News.
Did you know this local radio station is part of Civic Media? Learn more about the entire network at civicmedia.us.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Expect lawmakers to audit diversity practices in Wisconsin state government next year after the recent deal with the universities of Wisconsin. Assembly Speaker Robin Voss says opportunity in Wisconsin should be colorblind.
That's what I think America should be all about. Hard work equals
And
success.
DEI does not get people there. Is that
Not
what
in
you're
my
saying?
mind, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Voss tells the Wisconsin Eye Public Affairs Network the state made bipartisan gains on shared revenue, the Brewers Bill, and new literacy guidelines in 2023. Xcel Energy customers can expect to pay more next year. A rate increase will raise the typical monthly electric bill by about $1 and natural gas bills by about $3. The increase will pay for future renewable energy projects. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WMDX News, I'm Nate Wiggyhout. The Willie Street Co-op is almost ready to open their new community space. The Aubergine space will be able to host classes and events directly across the street from their Willie Street location starting in mid-January. The Aubergine will be able to host a variety of community events like cooking classes and gallery shows for local artists. This will be the co-op's second community space. A popular Southside bakery will forever close its doors on Christmas Eve. Lane's Bakery has been open since 1954. Chuck and Becky Lane, the third-generation owners of the bakery, first announced they were closing back in February, hoping someone would buy the bakery, but they say no buyers have stepped forward. They say they've sold twice as much product over the past few months with their diminished team. They say to arrive early on Sunday because they intend to sell out of everything fast. And that's what you need to know. I'm Nate Wiggyhout, WMDX News.
At Chad's Design Build, we care deeply about the quality of the services that we provide to our clients. An excellent remodeling experience requires communication, honesty, accuracy, and a detailed plan, all of which helps to create a satisfied client. And these commitments spell our name. To learn more about the Chad's remodeling experience, go to chadsdesignbuild.com. Building a better world, one remodeled home at a time, and celebrating 30 years of excellence.
The Packers get ready for the Panthers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Green Bay Packers travel to Carolina this weekend to face the struggling 2-12 Panthers. Despite losing to the Giants and the Buccaneers, is there any chance the Packers could overlook Carolina? Jordan Love.
I mean, I don't think, bouncing back after 2 losses, I definitely don't think we're going to be underestimating anybody. So, I think we're going to come out Sunday with our best foot forward. I think just the stretch of games we've had, losing 2 tough ones, we're ready to bounce back, and we're definitely not about to take this game for granted.
NBA, the Bucks play the Orlando Magic tonight at Fiserv Forum, then leave on a road trip. We'll have them playing the Knicks in New York on Christmas Day. Bobby Portis asks if he's finished his holiday shopping.
I ain't even put a tree up this year. Like, at the crib, I don't even have a tree up because on the 22nd, which is Friday, we leave, and, obviously, I ain't going to be able to open no presents under my tree. I ain't going to have my presents just sitting at the crib under the tree.
That's the Bucks' Bobby Portis. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Staying rather warm the next couple of days. Cloudy, little fog and drizzle tonight, lows in the mid-30s. Some early drizzle tomorrow, staying cloudy, high mid-40s. Some bits of sunshine on Saturday, highs all the way up to 50. Some rain and low 50s for Sunday. Rain chances continue for Christmas. It's 39 right now.
Your smile says a lot about you. It can give you confidence and give great first impressions. At West University Family Dentistry, Dr. Thacker and his staff will help ensure your oral health is in top shape because oral health affects your overall health. From routine checkups to advanced treatments, they're here to keep your smile shining bright and to make your dental appointment as pleasant and stress-free as possible. Call West University Family Dentistry at 608-238-6244, 608-238-6244, or log on westuniversityfamilydentistry.com. This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us. You're listening to the Devil's Advocates. Then at 6, stay tuned for the Meggie Dom. Warning, you're about to listen to the greatest radio show ever. And due to contractual obligations and to shield our airwaves and corporate licensees from any semblance of liability, responsibility, and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening. Now live from the Civic Media Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning, welcome to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
And now, here's your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show, the Thursday edition. Trying to set a theme here, Dom. Funny is funny. And we've been trying to get your funny takes. We're going to roll right into a happy hour edition, Dom. Been having fun with the topic. Rudy's so broke because Rudy Giuliani, the former attorney to the president, is so freaking broke he filed bankruptcy today in the federal courts. And I don't care how bad a year 2023 is shaping up for you and your family. You ain't as broke as Rudy Giuliani. This guy's like $500 million in the hole broke. He's $490 million more broke
Right.
than you are.
He
this
has
Christmas,
between
I suspect.
$1 and $10 million in assets and somewhere between $100 and $500 million in liabilities.
I would think he's broke. He's broke ass this Christmas. He's so broke they're gonna repossess Rudy's box. 844-967-2789. Diane Anderson from Racine, my understanding, holding a candidate for the 1st Congressional District, but she's holding with the Rudy joke. Diane, welcome to the show. Glad you're listening.
Hey, Diane.
Let's have it, sister.
Hi, guys. Okay, how about this one? Rudy's so broke that he won't be able to buy his usual hair dye.
You got to listen the whole time. Yeah, Diane, no, we appreciate it. Thank you. He is. He's so broke. We've had some good ones, Diane, and we
He's
appreciate
so
your
broke,
effort.
he can't pay attention.
Oh, come on.
Happy
Yeah, anything else for us,
holidays,
Diane? All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
844-967-2789. We had a couple really, really good ones. Several hair dye comments. Diane, picked up on that. Rudy's so broke that he can't afford to drop a dime on Donald Trump. I like
You
that
really
one.
like that one, Dom.
I do. I did
know you
like
did.
that one.
There were so many funny ones.
What did you say? I think you said Rudy's so broke he can only afford to get 2 sheets to the win.
That came in on the text line.
Oh, that
There
was a
were
texter. All right.
several- I
Yes.
can't take credit for all the funny.
Well, I mean,
And
sure you can.
well, okay, I will. All the funny ones said, if they were funny, I said them. But if they weren't funny, that definitely came from the callers.
You're
Or
right.
Dom. Probably Dom.
It'd probably be.
844-967-2789. Want to introduce a news story for the hour, Dom. Trump's buddy, Michael Flynn. You know, the locker up guy. Remember
Oh,
him?
the QAnon guy, the guy who was who lied to the FBI about his communications with the Russians. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Well, it's not really important, the actual body of this work, but the gist of this story. Dom, Michael Flynn was inducted into the Rhode Island Hall of Fame. And his induction in has triggered a mass resignation from the Rhode Island Hall of Fame. Just a little of this coverage. Michael Flynn was selected as an inductee into the Rhode Island Heritage Hall of Fame, sending dozens of board members fleeing for the exits. The Hall's board held a virtual meeting where some members voted to induct the former national security advisor, who is pardoned by, pardon means you were guilty of something, pardoned by Donald Trump near the end of his presidency after pleading guilty to lying to FBI agents about his contacts with Russian officials. And as a result, multiple members of the organization submitted letters of resignation, according to the Providence Journal. The inclusion of Lieutenant General Michael Flynn flies in the face of honorable service, said former Congressman Jim Langvin, who was also selected last week as an honorary inductee.
Right. Hey, congratulations. You're so awesome. We're going to put you on the same pedestal right next to General Flynn.
I mean, other than maybe Scott Walker, I couldn't think of a worse comrade to join in any endeavor. Again, from Jim, the other inductee or apparent not inductee to the Rhode Island Hall of Fame, I just couldn't see placing that particular nominee on the same footing with so many fabulous people that have been honored in that way over so many years that it's been in existence. Yes, Dom, because literally Michael Flynn should have been in jail had he not been pardoned of his guilt, his pled guilt. So, no, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Rhode Island. Let's go there.
844-967-2789. A few others might still have their takes on the Rudy So Broke joke. I know a few people listening at work might be in the car now. You can play along. Al from Oconomowoc. Welcome, Al. What do you got for us?
Merry Christmas to both of you guys, and best
Thank
wishes to you and your family. Yes, Rudy's so broke that he went down to the hospital to sell his blood, but they refused to pay him after all they got was a pint of cheap used vodka.
Yeah.
I'm glad you worked the booze in there, Al. I was already rewriting your punchline in my mind, but you went there. You went there.
Successfully so. Well done, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening, Al. Yeah,
Merry Christmas,
to you,
Al.
sir. 844-967-2789. Andrew from Madison. Welcome, Andrew. What do you got for us?
Andrew.
Hey, I got a Rudy So Broke joke for you.
Lay it on us,
Rudy
brother.
So Broke, rumor has it he opened an OnlyFans under the handle Rudy's Juicy Heiny.
Terrible. Yeah, a little visual, not necessary, Andrew, but I get the gist. I appreciate the effort, man.
What's your OnlyFans page called, Dom? Inquiring minds want to know.
I do not have one, although there is a new South Park out. I started watching it last night, talking about the OnlyFans. It's pretty amusing. Look forward to getting through it. Crute, I don't have an OnlyFans yet, but when I do, you'll be the first one to subscribe, right?
Well, I'd be the second one.
I was right, after Liza. 844-967-2789.
I was thinking maybe Judy Muffin. But thanks for bringing my wife into it. I'm sure that'll make for an awkward Christmas. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, as a gift for your wife, you can give her, an OnlyFans subscription to me. I mean,
I'll give her the cheat codes.
Yeah.
You put $1 in, you get double green stamps back from Dom's OnlyFans. 844-967-2789. Here's the good news. The former Congressman, George Santos, I bet he'd sign up for you.
Oh, for sure. Come on. Why wouldn't he?
Donor dollars, but he'd get them to you. Scott from Pewaukee, welcome to the show. What do you got for us, Scott?
Hi, Scott.
Hey there, guys. How's it going?
Good, man. Rudy joke or other?
Yeah. Oh, Rudy joke. Rudy is so broke, he went to go sell his soul, but had to go collect it from Trump first.
No!
I cannot.
And good luck getting anything back from Trump, Scott.
Appreciate you playing along, Scott. That is really where the punchline should have gone initially. I mean, Scott is really onto something here. Rudy's soul. But of course, it's been so debased and so devalued. It's also, there's a Rudy So Broke is
Rudy so broke he can't sell his soul, right?
It's perfection is somewhere in there, but
somewhere in there. Yeah,
let's
a little work.
perfection be the enemy of the very good. Well done,
Never,
Scott.
Crute, I never do.
Clearly. 844-967-2789. Eric from Lodi, welcome, sir. What do you got for us?
Welcome, Eric.
Yeah, it's a Rudy joke. Rudy's so broke, CJ won't rent to him.
That's right. CJ's a landlord. I'm not clear though. Do you think CJ would, just be so honored to have someone that was the fluffer to Donald Trump right there in one of his tenements?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But does he really want his property values brought down anymore?
Well, anyone that can do a little Google search of, the landlord's probably going to know who owns the joint, but maybe he's got a blind box.
True. All right. Well, that was the joke. So.
Right on, Eric. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. 844-967-2789.
I wonder where CJ is with his Rudy so broke joke. I mean, you've been invoked, CJ. If you've got one, we'll jump you up the queue here. But in the meantime, we'll keep going. 844-967-2789. Jeff, political thought or Rudy joke?
Oh, I got a couple jokes for you.
All right. Lay them on us.
Rudy's so broke that his finances finally align with his character.
Yes. Well done.
The second one is Rudy's so broke that he's willing to take lessons from Ocean Gate on how to keep things together.
Oh, I don't get it. What's Ocean Gate?
That was the thing that went to the bottom of the ocean but didn't come back up.
Oh, gee.
Imploded.
Ouch.
I was a little concerned that Rudy's head was going to implode at the Four Seasons that day. Something was coming out the gills, but is that it, Jeff? You've given us two pretty good ones. Solid efforts, sir.
The only other one that I got would be kind of a parallel with South Park is that Rudy's so broke that even Kenny feels bad about it.
And they killed Kenny. Thanks for the call, Jeff. Appreciate it, man. Oh,
Folks,
yes.
We're going to come back with the Duke boys. See what that Bo Duke was up to, Dom.
Man, when I was a kid, I loved this show. I'd run over because I didn't have a TV growing up, man. My parents wouldn't let me. I had to read books and stuff.
They wouldn't let you.
So I had to run over to the neighbor's house to watch. I'd make a point to go see the Dukes of Hazzard, man.
Driving around
Wow.
in that
Yeah.
racist General Lee.
Oh, terrible.
Chasing their good-looking cousin around.
Weird that they'd be acting out these days.
And there's a buddy they had named Cooter. Cooter. More Devil's Advocates. Come on back.
Y'all come back now. Here.
No return. The Devil's Advocates listeners support our sponsors and the mission. Tell you when your messages are working and put cash in your register. So invest your ad dollars to reach our raving Madison and Dane County fans, or affordably reach the whole state, Chicago, Minneapolis, and our nationwide stream audience today. The Devil's Advocates can be the voice of your business, hold special events at your location, interview your staff or satisfied customers to lift your business. Contact us today, Crute at darnwy.com. That's Crute at darnwy.com.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, things will never be the same. Getting a sober ride will change your world for the better. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Devil's Advocates. Never personal, only politics.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Having some fun today. You can always join us on the lines at 844-967-2789.
Dominic wanted to shift ever so slightly from Rudy So Broke to Bo Duke.
Really tackling the difficult issues of the day, aren't we, today?
We're digging in here before the holidays. Well, tomorrow's Festivus. You can air your grievances tomorrow, but in the meantime, one-liners, Rudy So Broke, or perhaps your political take. And, you know, I hear the Dukes of Hazzard, and I immediately thought of Tom Wopat. Tom Wopat was one of the Duke boys, right? He was Luke Duke. He was the brunette. And I believe, isn't he from Wisconsin? Somewhere in Wisconsin. I don't want to
I think it's from, he was born in Lodi. Yeah.
Well, there was a police report a couple years ago about Wopat, who allegedly hit a girl's buttocks with the script and said, "Nice butt," during rehearsals for a show. And he was subsequently charged with indecent assault and battery on a person over the age of 14, along with 2 counts of accosting or annoying a person of the opposite sex. I think he did plead those down, but I thought he was the more difficult one. But then I see this report about Luke Duke, the blonde one, John Schneider, right? That was the actor's name.
Yes.
Played him. And Dom, what's he been up to?
He's been up to no good, Crute. I mean, what would you expect from a guy who drove around with a Confederate flag on the roof of the car? But according to
advocacy for hanging Mike Pence,
perhaps a lot of hanging going on here. Crute actor John Schneider, best known for his role as Bo Duke on the classic TV show Dukes of Hazzard, responded to a post on X from President Joe Biden late Wednesday and suggested that Biden be publicly executed. Oh, come on, Bo. Trump poses many threats to our country, the right to choose, civil rights, voting rights, and America's standing in the world, the post of Biden's account stated. But the greatest threat he poses is to our democracy. If we lose that, we lose everything, Biden wrote on X, likely referring to the recent ruling from the Colorado Supreme Court, which booted Donald Trump from the state ballot. Beneath the post, Bo Duke, that'd be John Schneider, replied, "Mr. President, I believe you are guilty of treason and should be publicly hung. Your son, too. Your response is, ? Sincerely, John Schneider." And of course, John Schneider, Bo Duke, got a mixed reaction from the interwebs. The good old boys. Here's a couple. Just some good old boys telling presidents they should be hung. Another one. Most young folks have no idea who John Schneider is, so allow me to school y'all. There was this show when I was a kid, early 80s, called Dukes of Hazzard. It was filled with racist references, although I did not connect the dots at the time. So I'm not one bit surprised that an actor who agreed to be on the show was a Trump supporter today and posted a death threat to our Democratic President Joe Biden and his son. Another one here. Hey, FBI, we found another mega terrorist. You don't got to go far, John Schneider. Bo Duke, well, not hang Mike Pence, but hang Joe Biden and Hunter.
I'm just enjoying the ongoing Rudy So Broke joke stuff still happening on the text line.
Still alive. See what you started, man? You can't turn it off now.
Some are saying Rudy is so broke. He's auditioning for a role in the next Borat movie because he actually wants to get paid. And Rudy's so broke he couldn't get out of sight if a trip around the world only cost $0.25. Get it, Dom?
I got it.
Thanks, Dom. What else? Oh, I'm going to have to sing this one. Just sort of hum it. Rudy's so broke for Christmas, he'll have no holiday glee. His troubles grow under the mistletoe. Kisses no, just court orders under the tree. Christmas Eve will find him, his balding scalp in firelight gleams. Homeless now for Christmas, brought down by his schemes. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
Wow.
I'll
Maybe next time you give Nate a little heads up, he can put a funky ass bass line behind that.
That one came from Mark from the Sack, a text contribution. Didn't know I was going to sing it, though, did you, Mark? One more Rico from The Rock. Rudy went to sell his soul, but the devil said, I already got it from Donald for half price.
Ah, of course.
See, there's working that theme for us, Rico. You keep working on it, Rico, but don't hurt yourself.
Yes, I mean it's not hard, man. Where's Nick, man? Where's our stand-up folks? Kurt, you did a little stand-up, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, not in a humorous way. I've done very short bursts. I've done, a couple of jokes to introduce someone who's funny. I've emceed comedy affairs. I got to introduce. Well, I didn't. Let's step back, Rudy. Let's remember properly.
All right.
I got to be in a room with Charlie Barron's one time. No, I guess that was at the comedy club downstairs, but I got to be the MC of a doubleheader with Charlie Barron's one time, and that was a lot of fun. And I was the MC. So, I did a couple of jokes, little soft shoe. I actually wrote different jokes for the different shows. Because I figured some people liked me so much at the first show. I didn't want to have the same jokes at the second show. And it all had to be fresh material because, I don't exactly do stand-up for a living, so I never worked the material with an audience prior. But Charlie's uncle, whoever the merch guy was, he actually, because there were some amateur comedians as part of the festivities, and, you would have never guessed with a big venue like the Waterloo Fireman's Park.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of amateurs in the show mix.
Yeah.
But Charlie's uncle said, well, clearly you've done this before.
Oh, clearly. And your response was?
Well, the crowd work. I do the crowd work on the radio every day. The crowd works where, hey, where are you from? Where are my day drinkers at? Whoa, that's everybody. That kind of stuff. That specifically is how I started the very first show.
All right, yeah.
Charlie Barron's. Where's my day drinkers? Where's my midnight tokers? I sort of took an assessment of the kind of folks that were going to be there in the crowd.
So you're basically ripping off Steve Miller.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll cite my source. The Joker, but damn it, man, there was some funny. Now you've undermined it.
No, I listen. I think it takes a lot for folks to get up and do stand up. I mean, to stand up in front of a crowd, get on the stage, to, come up with the material that isn't ripped off or copied of original stuff. Man, it takes a lot of creativity and effort.
What's this about original stuff? Can't I just take funny stuff off the text line, write it down, put it in my own words? And I mean, it's my joke then, because I've crafted it.
Is that it? Oh, man, give me Eddie Murphy delirious anytime. And man, do I wish George Carlin was still alive today.
We are above the Comedy Club here on State Street, beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, in the Solidarity Realty Studios. And I did ask the landlord, his daughters run the joint downstairs. I said, hey, Gus, you got time for me? Can I do 5 minutes? Oh, anytime you want, Mike. Wednesday nights, open mic nights. Anytime you want, on Wednesdays.
On Wednesday.
Folks, we're at the Devil's Advocates. You got some open mic material. Want to hear from you. 844-967-2789.
On State Street, this is Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Festival Foods workers will get 3 weeks of paid leave after having a baby starting New Year's Day. The benefit also goes to workers who have a child placement, a new foster child, or adopts a new child. About 8,000 people work at festival locations around Wisconsin. AAA predicts a record of 7.5 million Americans will fly over the next 2 weeks, and some of them will have heart conditions.
If you're on a plane, be in an aisle seat. If you're on a water pill or diuretic, you're going to be sitting for a long period of time. Your compression socks may be suggested.
Cardiologist Dr. Kim Perry says people who've had a heart attack or stroke within the last 6 months should clear any travel with their doctors beforehand. And if you feel any symptoms on a plane, tell a flight attendant right away. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WMDX News, I'm Nate Wegehout. Madison's Tenant Resource Center is moving to the city's east side. The nonprofit helps renters navigate housing issues with their landlords. The new location on Winnebago Street is more than twice the size of their current offices. The new office has room for 2 conference rooms, a room for rental tenants facing eviction to meet with their attorneys virtually, and a waiting area. Executive Director Hannah Renfro tells the State Journal that their staff has more than doubled since the pandemic began. Their new location is set to open on January 2nd. 2 of Madison's biggest homeless projects could close early next year due to not having enough money. The Rethke Terrace and Tree Lane apartments are owned by the nonprofit Heartland Housing of Chicago. They've asked a Dane County judge to find help relocating the people living in the apartments and list the properties for sale. And that's what you need to know. I'm Nate Wegehout, WMDX News.
Peggy from Solidarity Realty here. Are you starting the process of buying or selling a home? The last couple of years have left people with so many questions of where to start. Solidarity's team has decades of experience in the community. Let us guide you through one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced investor looking for single-family, multi-unit, or commercial, Solidarity Realty is your local firm here to help you. Don't call the sign. Visit solidarityrealty.com.
The Packers get ready for the Panthers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Green Bay Packers travel to Carolina this weekend to face the struggling 2-12 Panthers. Despite losing to the Giants and the Buccaneers, is there any chance the Packers could overlook Carolina? Jordan Love.
I mean, I don't think, bouncing back after 2 losses, I definitely don't think we're going to be underestimating anybody. So, I think we're going to come out Sunday with our best foot forward. I think just the stretch of games we've had, losing 2 tough ones, we're ready to bounce back, and we're definitely not about to take this game for granted.
NBA, the Bucks play the Orlando Magic tonight at Fiserv Forum, then leave on a road trip. We'll have them playing the Knicks in New York on Christmas Day. Bobby Portis asks if he's finished his holiday shopping.
I ain't even put a tree up this year. Like, at the crib, I don't even have a tree up because on the 22nd, which is Friday, we leave, and, obviously, I ain't going to be able to open no presents under my tree. I ain't going to have my presents just sitting at the crib under the tree.
That's the Bucks' Bobby Portis. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Weather brought to you by the Wine and Hop Shop, Madison's local source for home brewing and winemaking supplies at affordable prices.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Staying rather warm the next couple of days. Cloudy, little fog and drizzle tonight, lows in the mid-30s. Some early drizzle tomorrow, staying cloudy, high mid-40s. Some bits of sunshine on Saturday, highs all the way up to 50. Some rain and low 50s for Sunday. Rain chances continue for Christmas. Currently, it's 37.
Love wine or beer? Make your own. The Wine and Hop Shop has home brewing and winemaking starter kits for all budgets. With our free expert advice, making your own is fun, easy, and delicious. Visit the Wine and Hop Shop at 1919 Monroe Street in Madison and at wineandhop.com today. Give the gift of a hobby with a home brewing or winemaking starter kit from the Wine and Hop Shop. The shop starter kits and free expert advice make brewing beer and making wine a snap. Be a holiday hero and visit the Wine and Hop Shop at 1919 Monroe Street in Madison or wineandhop.com today.
On air at 92.7 megahertz frequency modulation and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. This is Mad Radio.
Malarkey. The devil's advocates invented malarkey.
Some call me the gangster of
Welcome
love.
back to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Thursday. Funny is funny, happier, happy hour. I get all my best material from Steve Miller Band.
Yes. Just, from now on, Crute, you may refer to me as the gangster of love.
El Conquistador. Conquistador. You can call me Conquistador. 844-967-2789. I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying the text line immensely today. People having a lot of fun with the Rudy So Broke jokes, and they keep sending them in. Here are a few of the examples I've enjoyed. Rudy's so broke that heaven doesn't want him, and hell's afraid he'll take over. Rudy's WGBW. entrant. Here's one, WMDX. Rudy's so broke he can't afford the dollar menu at McDonald's. Damn. Here's another, Dana, our pal up in God's country, listening to the Eagle in La Crosse, 1490 AM. Rudy's so broke that he signed a contract to let Ari Melber beat him up on MSNBC every night. And Peter Navarro will be next. Here is a relatively funny and keen observation. Rudy's so broke, even the Russians won't give him a loan. Somewhere along the line, one of those jokes is being owned up by Jimmy in the UP. And someone wants to know, where can I access all the Rudy jokes? Why, at the podcast. That's where you'd find them, at the civicmedia.us. Go to the show page. Look about 12 shows deep.
Look for the Devil's Advocates.
Radio show ever. We're there.
Since we're the greatest radio show ever, you think we'd be like prominent, but it's all alphabetical. So you got to look for the Devil's Advocates radio show, the greatest radio show ever.
It's the that's holding us back.
It's the T. Yeah. Maybe we'll just change the name to the Devils. Well, still the Devils. D.
Well,
it'll be,
Devils Advocates Radio Network, Wisconsin WI, DARNWI. There's no the there.
There's no the there.
There are podcasts there if you need to find them. Didn't want to go looking 12 deep on the civicmedia.us site. Brian from Watertown, appreciate your patience. What do you got for us? Any good jokes I could steal for future comedy?
Right.
Hey, guys. Rudy is so broke that CJ has lost respect for him because he's going to have to live off the welfare system.
Oh, no.
That would do it.
Yeah, man. Rudy's so broke, he's now woke. Rudy's so broke, he's now a socialist because he needs what? He's going to, one way or another, right? So what? He goes to jail? Well, I mean, who pays for the justice system in this country? Of course, they're taxpayer dollars, Brian.
That's why CJ no longer respects him.
That's right. Good point, man. Appreciate it. 844-967-2789.
Rudy is a joke because he's so broke. There's something clever there. Work with me.
No, man.
I'm working through my material.
Is that what
open mic?
You're supposed to have some of that kind of done when you get to open mic night. You're not supposed to like do the creativity part while you're there.
That's why I'm doing it here with you.
Thank you.
If you were funnier, I'd let you do the material.
It comes in spurts and fits,
Yeah, spurts.
I can't force the creativity, man. It's just sometimes it just oozes, and then when you try to force it, it just becomes, not great. It seems forced.
Spurts and fits has been your nickname since college. 844-967-2789. A little bit of politicking, Dom. You see what the Jim Jordan's doing? The wannabe speaker guy, the guy that under his coaching responsibilities at Ohio State University allowed a lot of the athletes to be assaulted, but now Jim Jordan is what? The head of the Judiciary Committee in the House.
Very important job. Now, I find it somewhat ironic that he would, all those accusations aside, that this guy would be the head of the Judiciary Committee for the Republicans when he himself defied a subpoena from the January 6th committee, a lawful congressional subpoena that he has yet to answer to. But he expects other people to respond to his subpoenas and show up for his subpoenas.
Consistency, intellectual or otherwise, Dom.
I think we need to constantly, absolutely. Come on, man. Well, I don't know how you grew up, man, but when I grew up, these things did matter. You know what I mean? You can't ask something of others that you're not going to expect to do yourself. And he's exactly doing that. That makes him a hypocrite at best. But please continue. Let's talk more about Jim GYM Jordan.
Well, Jim Jordan is threatening the special counselor, Jack Smith, with a subpoena as the Trump criminal cases ramp up. So he is trying to interfere with the investigation the criminal investigation. He wants to interfere, put a stop to it if he could. Jim Jordan and his fellow House Republicans are moving forward with plans to counter-investigate special counsel Jack Smith, investigate the investigators, as the two criminal cases he filed against former President Donald Trump continue to advance, reported Courthouse News on Thursday. Here's what they're reporting on. GOP lawmakers looking to defend Trump from what they frame as a political ploy to keep him out of the White House have long cast aspirations on a pair of Justice Department investigations into the former president. This reported by Benjamin Weiss. Republicans have contended that President Biden is weaponizing the federal law enforcement agency to go after his political rivals, a claim that has been rejected by some legal experts. No one on Trump's team, I'm sure. In the GOP-controlled House Judiciary Committee, lawmakers have matched Smith's probe with one of their own, hoping to demonstrate political malfeasance in the Justice Department. On Thursday, panel chair Jim Jordan stepped things up, telling the special counsel in a letter that he had significant concerns about your commitment to even-handed justice. Significant concerns, Dom. Republicans have been leveling similar threats since last year, and according to the report, they're prepared to issue subpoenas against Smith as part of the next phase of their investigation. Now, of course, I, as special counselor, would ignore the subpoenas. But anyways, Dom.
Well, but I think let's just pause just for a minute, if I may jump in here. So apparently this letter, he sent a letter, and within the letter, they expressed significant concerns about commitment to even-handed justice. I mean, this is a special counselor. He's got one job. He's got one thing. Investigate, well, a couple. Donald Trump, the J6, and the documents. So those are his things. He doesn't make calls on other issues, right? He's not making decisions on what other cases the Justice Department. You got a beef, then you go to the head of the Justice Department. This is a guy doing a job. Hey, I'm taking you here, Jack Smith, to investigate Donald Trump on the documents case, on the secrets that he kept, and on the January 6th insurrection that he fomented. Those are the two things. What even-handed justice? How? You go where the facts lead you. It's not like he's not doing investigations of Hunter Biden as Jack Smith. That's not Jack Smith's purview. His job is to go after Donald Trump on these two issues, present the cases, and let the jury decide. So what is it about even-handed justice? How can Jack Smith have any input as to quote-unquote even-handed justice? He's presenting the case against Donald Trump, period. The jury will decide.
I would point out Jack Smith is a special counselor, supposed to be independent of even most DOJ oversight. Right. Supposed to be able to work, right? Jordan specifically points to the Department of Justice obtaining a search warrant for Trump's account on Twitter, and a claim by Trump associate attorney that one of Smith's lawyers pressured him into negotiating a plea deal for his client by using the outcome of a judgeship application. I don't know what that means. Now, one of the cases brought by Smith accuses Trump of civil rights violations and conspiracy to defraud the United States, connections to the plot to overturn the 2020 presidential. The other concerns the former president's retention of highly classified national defense information at his Mar-a-Lago Country Club in South Florida.
I mean,
I call those the paperwork crimes.
So what is he? But what does Jim Jordan want? What would even-handed justice look like? Like Jack Smith's supposed to send out subpoenas for what? Someone else's Twitter feed? You know, no one else is within his preview of what he's supposed to do as special counselor. So it's obviously bunk. I highly doubt Smith would even take the time to respond to a guy who sends out a subpoena from the very organization, Congress, that he now represents, that he himself would not honor. So go pound sand, number one. And number two, how do you not, as an investigator to this particular crime, but just, put back and put anybody else in any other situation, the Twitter feeds, the conversations, the private messages, those things can be relevant. They can be relevant to the investigation, just like phone calls, just like where were you, what you did, just like, signatures and documents, everything matters, everything. And I guarantee you there's some action on the DMs on Trump's Twitter feed. So they're obviously very, very concerned that Jack Smith has these things. And Jack Smith, I believe, was today in response to Trump's attorneys yesterday telling the Supreme Court, just take your time, let it go through the appellate process. He's got absolute immunity. There's no
Does
reason
that even
to
make
rush
sense?
this.
Like, let the music breathe. Like it's a wine bottle. Here, just set it aside for a few more months. Why would they not? If they're going to take up the case, why would they not? I mean, this is such a strange ask. No, don't look really quickly. Just slow down.
Right.
I mean, it only, of course, makes sense in the prism of the fact that Donald Trump does not want to be brought to justice, right?
Well,
It's a pure dilemma,
who does,
right?
man? Who does? Who wants anyone's actions, questioned, especially when you tried to be the only guy in the American history to overturn the government and to block the peaceful transfer of power when you obviously lost and you've been telling people and laying down the corn seed for years, perhaps up to a year, about election fraud and interference. All bunk. All of it, the whole time. And we still deal with the repercussions today because a lot of Republicans, a lot of megas still believe that Donald Trump somehow won the election. We're still having this conversation because that belief is so strong within the mega community.
And if you weren't listening from the top of the show, Assembly Speaker Robin Voss from the great state of Wisconsin said if Trump is the nominee, he'd probably vote for him because he's not going to vote for Joe Biden. The same guy that came to Wisconsin to endorse his primary opponent, the guy that pressured him to hire Michael Gableman, create this whole fake investigation, and Gableman's conclusion that, we should strongly consider redoing the election of 2020. This great advice in 2022, right?
I got a great idea. I'm just spitballing here, guys.
But Robin Voss would still be considerate of voting for the man.
I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about the mega party and everything you need to know about Assembly Speaker from Wisconsin, the most powerful Republican leader in the state of Wisconsin, Robin Voss. And he, after getting berated and embarrassed and almost losing a primary by a couple hundred votes, would still
280 votes
consider voting for Donald Trump. Perhaps a soon to be convicted Donald Trump. I don't know. I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. Well, come on, man. You can vote for anybody. You're going to vote for Donald Trump. And we know Robin Voss from here in the state of Wisconsin. We've been following his career, let's call it, for years. I don't believe for a minute that Robin Voss thinks that Donald Trump was somehow screwed out of the election. Robin Voss is trying to, please everyone, especially consolidating his power. All right, I don't believe it, but I went on the plane with Trump, so I'll get, Gableman, of all people, to do this thing. And, a year later and millions of dollars later, calls Gableman an embarrassment to Wisconsin. But what? So
what's that make Janelle Branchen? He empowered her too.
But I know you hired these people. You gave them authority. You gave them credibility-ish. And then when it's all said and done, they're terrible. They're all coffee boys. In some ways, I'm really, really not surprised.
Dom, I want you to know a little bit more about the Speaker of the House, and I'm looking for comedic material here as well. Mike Johnson took his daughter to a purity ball, as all good fathers do. Resembled a wedding. Let's talk about it.
Artistically designed jewelry and plenty of other items delivered straight to your door or to family and friends. Madison's favorite for glass, gifts, and vape. Ignite Glass and Gifts. Monona Drive, Williamson Street, and Odana Road. Plus, IgniteGlassandGifts.com.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Uma. Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma.
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling devil's advocates.
Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Happy Friday Eve to us all. It is our last segment of the day. If you have something to say, pick up the phones right now. Dial 844-967-2789.
You can blame me.
I am blaming you. I blame you
Nate,
for many
Nate
things.
Offered Metallica.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate you, man.
Or
Rudy, or
Stand By Your Man. Dom, we know about Speaker MAGA Johnson, right? Mike Johnson.
Mega
And
Mike.
We learned something quite interesting about this second in line to the president, that his 17-year-old son is his porn accountability buddy. I have a 17-year-old son, and I don't want to know what he watches. And he is certainly not my porn accountability buddy. You know, we're pretty good friends. I like my son. Good kid. We're not porn accountability buddies.
Rudy, will you be my porn accountability buddy?
Well, here's my question.
Is that a yes or a no?
If I get caught with porn, you know my response.
Dominic!
That happened. That really happened once.
It's true.
And it was your fault.
I am not a role model, Michael.
Clearly. And I'm starting to wonder about this Speaker Mike Johnson. I'm starting to have some reservations about this guy, even his parenting.
Starting to.
Now, Dom, I found this at the salon.com. This is being widely reported. Newly unearthed video shows Mike Johnson and his daughter attending a purity ball in 2015. This looks like a wedding, but they're not bride and groom, but rather father and daughter. Well, you know, much like Trump wishes he had with his daughter. But anyways, here is what was reported, Dom. Years before Mike Johnson would become second in line for the president, a German TV news outlet profiled him and his then teenage daughter preparing for and then attending a purity ball. Dom, you know, just like we would do it. This looks like a wedding, a news reporter said in a German 2015 NTV news segment unearthed by ABC News. But they're not bride and groom, but rather father and daughter, the reporter adds, referring to Johnson and his then 13-year-old Hannah. The news segment examined purity balls and the purity movement among conservative Christians and the Johnson family as the lens, highlighting Johnson and his daughter at the ball with other pairs, enjoying Johnson's daughter vowing and signing a pledge to live a life of purity. Dom, have you signed the pledge?
No. And I honestly, I'm down. Maybe. What do you mean by purity? I mean, these are subjective terms.
Well, Dom, the controversial formal dance event gained notoriety in the early 2000s, but remained popular among some conservative Christians. Purity balls typically saw fathers and their teenage daughters dressed up for the night of dinner and dancing that ends with the daughter signing a pledge to her father to abstain from dating and remain sexually abstinent until marriage.
Abstain from dating? Well, how are you going to get married if you don't date? What, dad's going to hook you up with someone?
Now, Dom, the news segment features an interview with Johnson's daughter, now in her 20s, vowing to her father to make a commitment to God, myself, my family, my friends, my future husband, and my future children to a lifetime of purity, including sexual purity, with shots of Johnson nodding in agreement interlaced. The doting father, ? In one brief interview clip, Johnson's wife, Christian counselor Kelly Johnson, told the German news outlet, "We don't talk to her about contraception.
Oh, what?
Sex before marriage is simply out of the question." Now, Tom, Mike Johnson's participation in the 2015 news story provides another example of the previously almost unknown lawmaker's staunchly conservative and religious views, which have informed his political career and is sent in Congress. So you didn't know Johnson took his daughter to a purity ball and made her sign the pledge, Dom.
The
You
pledge.
didn't know that, did you?
I did not. I did not. When I saw this, I was like, wow. And okay, but teenage. So I remember the daddy daughter dance. I took Izzy to the daddy daughter dance. That was cute, but she was like, third grade or something. And there was no, I mean, they were dancing the Gangnam style, man. I mean, it was super cute, and there was no talk of purity or contraception or any of that, of course, at that age. So whatever, man, father-daughter dance. So at first I'm thinking, well, I mean, I took Izzy to a father-daughter dance. That's cute. What's the problem? Oh my God, what? And then for the mother, we don't talk about contraception. Sex before marriage is simply out of the question. I mean, it's something to dream. It's something to aspire to, I guess, if that's how you want to, do it. But feel sorry for the kids, when they turn 18. Good luck out there, children. It just seems super creepy to me.
What are you talking about? You love meeting those religious type girls in college, Dom, rebelling against their father's purity pledges. Those were your kind of girls on a Friday night.
If you need someone to help break the purity, I would have been there for you. So yes, I there's a lot of learning to do in this world, and I don't think that kind of mentality is doing anybody any favors. But I'm not surprised, man. But again, people, is it? What's your thought on it, Crute? Do you think it's hits creeper level? It hits the EU level? Daddy, I'm not going to have sex.
Creeper adjacent. Here's a quote. Someone asked me today in the media. They said, "It's curious. People are curious. What does Mike Johnson think about any issue under the sun? Well, go pick up the Bible off your shelf and read it.
No.
That's my worldview," Johnson said in a recent Fox News interview.
No shrimp for you.
There is a little incest that goes on in the Bible, Dom. I'm just telling you.
little?
If you read some of that Old Testament stuff.
Incest, murder,
There weren't a lot of
genocide.
branches on-
I mean, there was I saw a comedian reading passages from the Bible in some sort of open kind of meeting, governmental kind of thing where public opinion was heard, and he talked about the murder and the incest and the genocide and all that and the grooming and the indoctrination. Of course, he's talking about the Bible. So there's that. But I'd also, one other thing, I did read on this article, saw a couple of things about it, and one of them did quote, "Hey, there's basically a study that shows that the purity balls, if you're the one to take those kind of pledges, you got a higher percentage of unwanted pregnancies." Well, imagine that'll happen, and your mother won't talk to you about contraception.
Dom, here's a quote from Johnson. "One of the primary purposes of law and civil government is to restrain evil. We have to acknowledge collectively that man is inherently evil.
I do not.
Needs to be restrained.
No, thank you. Don't believe it.
I try to hold you back each and every day."
All you can do is try.
Maggie Dawn is next. Then Black Convergence and Raised in the Wisco. Check your local listings.